Stellark will want to ban, being able to proxy lanes, being able to initiate the team as such, but it seems like they are going for a Karina ban instead, as we see that that could be a higher possibility that the Paquito could be played in the EXP to bully against Esmeralda. Oh wait, I forgot, Esmeralda is picked by Stellark.
It seems like they think that the Paquito is going into the EXP lane because they're banning out the junglers, so they still believe that there is a chance for SMG to pick up junglers, and that means, well, what do they have on the board here? Usually Joxxx has been playing very utility-based junglers, but all of this have been taken off the board. You know, the Karina, the Bauman Julian, so it really narrows his options here.
Well, Amon.
Oh, yes! Alright.
Amon. Well, Amon is going to be picked coming in from the side of SMG, and things has been looking pretty darn good for Amon with a total of 75% win rate so far. And Amon is able to jump over to the backlines pretty effectively onto the Melissa, considering the fact that you don't really have to care too much about getting right in your face. As long as you'll be able to get a good amount of stacks up, you should be able to burst this Melissa down pretty fast. Even if the Fossa couldn't reach there, we have seen LY4 playing onto the Amon last week and pulled off massive success with a random invisible play that turned the tides towards them.
This is very, very scary now, looking at SMG, right? It's just so much artillery, there's so much damage coming from their side, but oh my goodness, Stellark! They pick up the jaw hit and the Valentina. What? What?
It's the first time pick under the jaw hit?
I mean, yes, he had his missile damage, I think, buffed, but I don't know. I guess they think it warrants, it's good enough to warrant a pick here. So that's going to be a jaw hit roam, I suppose.
Mid lane roam. I would say that the Valentina is the roam.
Well, it could.
I could believe that the jaw hit is the jungler. Because I really don't think that they're going to be putting this Julian as the jungler at all, considering the fact that Julian is really crippled in the early stages of the game. And I am completely wrong. OhDeerBambi is putting himself onto the Julian. This pretty much means that could be a slow start coming from Stellark. Maybe Stellark does have an idea about how to play the Julian in the early stages better than we do.
Well, for sure, that's why they're the pro players.
I mean,
right?
yeah, of course.
But I mean, looking at this, maybe they're trying to use the jaw hit to make up for some of that early game loss in the jungle. If jaw hit can pull off the invades, if the aggression works out for them, then maybe that buys some time and space for Julian to farm in the jungle. But how are you feeling about these drafts?
Well, the drafts, I have quite some question marks, but this is a completely new hero picks, completely new meta to a certain extent. I would love to sit on the sidelines and listen to both of you guys, Holler as well as SCRUBBYCHEEKS, as you take us through with game number 1 today.
Stellark versus SMG. This is going to be game 1. We're starting with a banger. We're starting with what? Esmeralda, the #1 pick in the entire league. We have Paquito, which was #2. And then now we've got something we're thrown in, Jawhead, changing everything. What is going on here, Scrubby?
I mean, I'm trying to wrap my head around it too, but as you can see, Fossa already taking that jaw hit into the jungle, so this is why they want this pick, to be able to do that early invade and try to starve out Joxxx as much as possible, and if not, then, I mean, just provide vision to the team at the very least. But SMG, they're also repeating this aggression on the bottom side, trying to stop OhDeerBambi, taking some damage here.
Yeah, he's getting a little bit low. He's going to dash to safety. He should be fine. I mean, at the end of the day, he's just scouting, just seeing what he could potentially steal, nothing to worry about, but he is low. But Fossa, look at this, the aggression, the two big heavy hitters going at it already.
Yeah, I guess they're still going at it, oh my goodness. But I guess, you know, Joxxx also on this Amon, also being a very, very late game power spike oriented hero, is probably also allows them to maybe buy some time for the Julian to scale. So this could work out, but I would say looking at the late game, I would be more scared of SMG.
Yeah, I mean, it's one of those things where can they get to late game, right? I think that Stellark have proven that they can kind of push the initiative and make sure that they have that that momentum going in, but it's going to be a little bit different considering that what we're seeing a Bruno here is recently buffed. What are your thoughts on Bruno?
Well, Bruno with the movement speed buff is going to allow him to be able to chase members more quickly. Oh, and the shots on OhDeerBambi, they actually do disengage though, but the turtle is spawning on the bottom side in just a bit.
Yeah, actually, Turtle's going to be something that Stellark need to focus on a little bit most. They've lost at least 17 in the entire league. That's the second most in the entire league. So this is a team that really needs to focus on Turtles, make sure that they have a little bit of a better advantage. But as I say that, Derry, Fossa, they're going at it. Joe continuing to fight. He's been thrown back in. Derry has to flicker to safety. He is fine for now. But again, there's a big skirmish here. That's 4-on-4. Rum, sticking around. I think that's going to be the end of that.
Yeah, nice flicker burn there on the side of Stellark, but Enya scores himself a first blood up top in the meantime. Fossa though.
Yeah, and it looks like Joe, nice little stun up. Sync C is going to get to safety. The wall's been used, but they've got the second kill. Derry's going to be going down. Chu is looking for more, and in the end, they did get the turtle. So, hey, not the... Oh, sorry, not the... What was it, the turtle?
Yeah, that was the turtle.
Okay,
I think
just because I'm not seeing the graphic on that one.
I think it went the way of Stellark, right? So now they have a lead of about 500-600-ish gold. It's not too huge at the moment, but this is kind of... I don't think this is what SMG wants, because Enya, yes, he can bully in the lane, but they really need Joxxx to be able to get online as quickly as possible. Actually, looking at the drafts, right, the Valentina pick onto Sync as well is really, really powerful, because now you can steal ultimates like the Wild Charge. You can also steal ultimates like the Feathered Airstrike from Joe. So it really buffed up their team fighting potential in terms of helping them either engage or disengage from team fights.
It's one of those things where can he outplay them, right? Is he able to do that? I mean, Sync, we know that he's very capable, he's very mechanically sound, but is he able to steal it in the heat of the moment? That we're going to have to see, because I think it really comes down to that. That's a lot of pressure on him to perform. But as I say that, SMG kind of sticking around. They're trying to bait out something. I don't think that's going to be the end of anything. But again, SMG a little bit behind in this first phase.
And now Stellark looks like they're trying to push that advantage as well. A bottom side, they're just trying to, proxy the lanes as much as possible and create space. I think earlier on, Chu was able to push it up a bit more compared to Rum, and he also has a level lead above of him. So that definitely helps in terms of creating space and map control for team members. Looking at the emblems here, Chu actually falling down bot side in the meantime, but top.
Derry running for his life. Again, he gets to safety for now, but my gosh, they're putting a lot of pressure. Stellark really want to do well in the early game.
Yeah, and I think given the emblems, they're also trying to escalate the early game, right? I mean, Chu with the Everest, nothing new, but he is a pretty late game hero, so that Everest is definitely going to help him get to the late game even faster. And with things like the magic shop on both OhDeerBambi and Sync as well, they're going to be able to buy their items as quick as possible. SMG also has the same replicated on their side.
Oh, Derry charging it up. He's going to back off. OhDeerBambi's going to start the turtle. I don't know if SMG are going to compete for this one, but Stellark, with all of that pressure that they provided in the top outer turrets, they did almost more than half. It's about 25% life at this point. But Derry now sticking around, and I think this is going to be an easy turtle going the way of Stellark here.
Yeah, I don't think Joxxx has his items yet. Only just picked up the Genius one, but again, Derry.
Oh, Solo playing, living on the edge, so to speak. I mean, yes, he's very tanky, but he does need to be careful. He's going to be fine, but SMG on the back foot to start things off.
It's not over for them yet, though. I mean, right now it's well short of 1k gold lead, so the gap isn't too far. It isn't too huge between these two teams. So, like we talked about in the keys to victory, they really need to be able to help Enya, prioritize Enya in the early game, help him, but he's in trouble.
The throwback. Enya's been killed, and that's going to be massive. That has a ton of damage that's just been gone. SmellyCat is looking to get Derry as well, and this is turning into roses for Stellark as they've gotten, the 2 kills on that one.
Yeah, so again, I mean, just as we talked about Enya, right? Probably a curse right there. He was pressured down, and right now he's also going to lose his tier 1 turret up top. So that is a lot of control, a lot of potential to farm that's lost from him. And SmellyCat has the advantage over him as well, a level lead ahead at this point.
Yeah, it's actually turning into, I mean, XP and net worth, things are starting to go out Stellark's way. They're continuing to roll, and they're putting pressure. Even in the top lane, we're seeing more action. Fossa has been killed here. Enya will secure at least that kill, but he dies in return. Joxxx is looking to just go for SmellyCat, but here comes OhDeerBambi. Nice chains there. That's going to start things off. OhDeerBambi does need to be careful. The wall is there, and he's like, I'm not running away. I want to go at you. And SMG they end up disengaging here.
Nice trades there, and SMG, they actually lose Joxxx as well as Enya, so I think that went in the favor of Stellark, because I would trade a roam, you know, for the jungler any day. And now again, it looks like still Stellark is holding their end of defense, and it does seem like OhDeerBambi on this Julian, we thought it would be slow, but he's keeping up with Joxxx really, really well.
He's been very impressive, right? I mean, we kind of were questioning the Julian pick, especially the first one. I mean, it has had play, and I mean, it's, I think, the 8th most picked in the league, so it has, you know, the potential there. Everyone understands the familiarity of it, but you know, it's a new patch, it's a new day. Is it able to continue on with that momentum? But again, it looks like again another turtle going the way of Stellark.
And in the meantime, you know, SMG looks like they'll just give it up, but they're trying to pressure down bot, and even then, Stellark is not letting them do that. The rotations from Fossa and Sync so on point to be able to force SMG back into their jungle. And it just looks like the picks so far have been working out very well for Stellark. I mean, SmellyCat, he's 3-2-1. With the go away on his ultimate, he's been able to, you know, prevent those kind of ganks and save his life. And right now, he's just gonna go down and take another turret.
Oh, Stellark have just been like making it like they've been playing a suffocating offense, right? They've couldn't have complete map control, any sort of, you know, split pushing, any sort of trying to get to the other areas. It's just been very difficult. They have not had a good time, and they've been very reactive going into this one. But SMG, look at them. They've all grouped in the mid lane, trying to protect that outer turret in that mid lane. Very important. I agree with that, but it just seems like, again, they're not able to get the farm on in the other lanes.
Yeah, so far Joe has been very effective in keeping that mid lane up, but he's been pressured to rotate across the map as well. Looking across the items, I mean, you can just see the amount of farm that Stellark has over the side of SMG. Now, Enya, he has 2 items up compared to, well, I think still SmellyCat also has 2 key items, but is farming just slightly ahead of him. So there is still that advantage, and now Joe picking up that lightning truncheon as well, going to be able to help dish out even more damage, especially on the passive and the feather airstrike.
Yeah, definitely going to need that damage. And I mean, look, I mean, Rum is one of those types where he's constantly split pushing, and he's going to look to go in the top lane as there's a little bit of a skirmish in the bottom lane. But Paquito is 2nd most pick in the league, but it has a 30% win rate, right? It just has not done that well. As I say that, looks like Fossa and Derry, they're going to look to who's going to attack first. He gets thrown back. Derry's going to be left for dead. That's going to be at least the roamer. But Fossa now on the run. They've gotten what they wanted, which is a kill. SmellyCat now putting pressure on that bottom turret.
With this draw hit pick, right, it feels like SMG wasn't quite expecting that, but it gives them the ability to just, you know, isolate someone and throw them into the lines of Stellark and pick off someone so easily as compared to the side of SMG. Oh, in the meantime, though, that looks like they're trying to force a fight.
Oh, they do get a kill, at least. OhDeerBambi, he's going to be dead, and they're looking for the return. Chu's been thrown back. Xingxi's looking to fight this. He goes down as well, and this might have been the fight. Chu is now on the run. He's been walled off, but he's got some speed. He's on the run. He's been kicked, and he will get to safety, I think. And one last shot. He does get him. Secures that in the end. Really nice play by SMG.
This is why the movement speed is so potent, because you can use that on this Bruno now to chase down targets, especially when they're running. And Enya knows exactly how to flex this hero. Now, off that fight, they're already going to get this Lord.
What a turn of event, right? You get 3 kills on that one. You get the first Lord of the game. And then now Fossa gets a nice throwback, and that's going to be nice. The Feather Airstrike is going to be used, and that's going to do some damage as well. And so they're starting to rack it up. Fossa now on the run. Derry, Rum are trying to draw a bead. They do get the charge. Fossa looks to be dead here. And oh. What? No, did
goodness.
Oh my gosh. All right, well, okay. Fossa gets away with a sliver of life.
How does he do that? But just look at Stellark now popping off, chasing down Rum.
Yeah, okay. So Rum does get the knock up. Sync will get that one. Rum is now killed.
A wipeout on the side of SMG. My goodness, Stellark, you're like, okay, you know what? Have the Lord. Take the Lord, because I know that we lost the higher ground, you know? At that point, SmellyCat already used the go away, and he wasn't able to fend for himself. So because he was put out of that fight, SMG had the opportunity to take that objective. But Stellark's like, okay, You get the Lord, I'm just gonna wipe out the rest of your team, and somehow Sync again makes it out with just a little bit of health.
He's done that so many times, right? And he gets away. He's going to be fine here. But again, the Stellark have kind of gone back and forth. They started off strong. They had a nice punch. The guy counterpunched, and now it's a little bit of a battle, especially with this 1K net worth lead. SMG, though, they need to figure something out. In terms of the objectives, I feel like they've kind of been lacking in that department. They haven't been able to find the right initiations. But even with that wall, again, more zoning. And look, all 4 members, this is a huge commitment for what? Just the Hermit Crab?
I mean, if they need the farm net back.
Yeah. And they were fighting for it. But okay, here we go. And this is when he started. Fossa walks into this one. Unfortunate for him. And I guess that paid off. It was the Hermit Crab and Fossa.
There you go. That's why. That's why. It wasn't just the Hermit Crab.
Got it. All right. So Derry's going to be on the run. Again, putting pressure on this inhibitor turret in the top lane here. And they're going to secure this one. Bruno? Okay, we'll take that one in the end. So they've turned this around. The turrets have kind of been, even at the end of the day, or I think they're lacking in one department. But again, SMG have really bounced back.
I mean, this it's not just a game where you flip tables, Usually we talk about how the tables have turned, but this game feels like a switch. It seemed like Stellark had it for a moment, but then SMG really quickly snapped it back. Looking at the damage dealt now, Sync and Joxxx at the highest of the charts. So Sync actually outputting so much on his team.
Yeah, you talked about it, right? How Sync had to really step up with Valentina. And the fact that he's done all this damage is just proving that, hey, at the end of the day, Stellark, this is the guy that you got to be careful about. He's going to be doing all the damage. But at the same time, now SMG need to figure out a way to stop Sync from just blowing everybody up.
The thing is, he has already, inherent in his kit the ability to do a lot of burst damage with his combo, but now you give the feathered airstrike on Joe over to Sync, who also built magical power. So he is able to use that to his advantage and leverage that to counter-engage onto SMG. Earlier on though, SMG, they realized, right, Fossa was the one zoning them out, and the moment they took him down, they were able to run through the rest of Stellark. So will they repeat that here?
Yeah, I mean, at this point, it's completely zoned out. Derry's getting a little bit low. Doesn't need to be careful here. But now Chu has joined the fight. He's going to go in. The feathered airstrike is going to be used. Fossa's down already. Chu is down as well. Enya starting to rack up the kills. Joe and Enya are on the run, and Sync is turning this around, just the amount of damage. But he dies in the end. Enya will secure that one with a triple kill.
Oh, Enya is now starting to pop off. 6, 3, and 4. He's already at level 15. So, at Stellark, they really need to be careful of grouping up, because the moment Enya pops that wave of the wall, he can easily start to burst down members of Stellark. And it just felt like Stellark earlier on, they just wanted to chase the kills despite having lost the objective. It just didn't quite work out for them. And now Enya, with that Haas toss as well, it's going to be so difficult to take him down.
Look, everybody's level of play, mechanical skill is very high. It's the coordination and that team fight that goes in. And Stellark proving right there, the small mistakes can really bite you in the butt, so to speak. And they lost that team fight because of that. Now, if we're looking at how things have turned, look at SMG, they have the Lord pushing, that's going to be killed here, but it's creating so much attention where you've got pressure going in the mid lane and the bottom lane at this point, and SMG seem to be in the driver's seat at this stage.
This is the late game for them, right? They have damage on not only Joxxx and Enya and Joe. It's so much. And who is Fossa going to zone out at this point? There's this, the moment he goes in, he's going to be bursted down by all the members of SMG. So in the early game, it worked out. It was easy to go in across the lanes and pick off someone. But now as they group up...
Oh, he goes for the dash. The feathered airstrike is going to be used to zone. Chu's on the wrong side of this one. He's going to be looking to run, but Rum is a little bit low. Joe is as well, but they've gotten the inhibitor turret. That's going to be the last one. The base is completely exposed.
Nice play by Fossa trying to stop that feathered airstrike from Joe. I mean, that's a lot of artillery that's going to go down on Stellark, but still, they're able to find the damage because they have multiple sources, so they don't just rely on Joe for that huge damage potential. And now, Stellark, they're just pushed with their backs to the wall. All 3 lanes crack down onto the base. I mean, yes, now this is where the new mechanic comes in, right? With the new patch, we also have that magic sentry where they can pop that to be able to give vision of the jungle. So potentially, it helps them to roam a little bit and contest objective in this later part of the game.
It's going to be important, and it's a nice little thing that they've added to kind of give them a little bit more of a chance in that sense, but it's just a little bit of vision, right? You need to ensure that your lanes are controlled so that you're not getting split push in any different direction. It's very difficult to go outside of your base. I mean, yes, you can go with the minion wave, but it's kind of hard to find that next point. What is opening? What is safe? You don't want to get ambushed at the end of the day.
They're setting it up now. I mean, you can see just both of these EXP laners camping at the bottom, and it's down to this, right? You need to get the map control on the bottom side so that you play into a 4v5 as much as possible. But Stellark, they need to be quick on this because Rum is already there to clear the lanes up.
Yeah, it's going to be a 4-on-4 towards the Lord and Chu and Rum. Of course, this is a better love story than Twilight at the end of the day, right? These two are going to go at it, and no one's really going to die at the end of the day. Unless someone makes a pivotal, grave mistake, I don't think that's going to happen. But let's talk a little bit about this Lord. I mean, there's a lot of zoning. There's going to be a little bit of dancing, so to speak. But the Lord down already to half-life. SMG are making a play on this one. They kill that one. Joxxx will secure that one. And Chu does get the stun. He seems to be in a bad spot here. They need to be careful with how they proceed on this one. The wall's going to be used, but SMG are looking to run and just reset everything.
They just want the objective, and they've already set it up so perfectly, right? Rum pushing down the bot, making sure that Chu doesn't get a hit there, and now with the mid and the bottom lanes as well, they're gonna just siege with this Lord. So very textbook, nice disciplined play there by SMG.
Very patient. I think that's the biggest thing by SMG. You're showing that nobody really wants to go, you know, step out of position or whatever, but here's the feathered airstrike. That's going to be used as well as the wall. Look how much zoning has been done. Fossa's been killed already. The Lord will eventually be killed here, but Stellark, can they hold? All of them need to heal back up. It's completely wide open here. Enya, the stolen feathered airstrike, that's going to be used. That's going to do some damage. That's one way to defend. Rum getting a little bit low. Maybe he overstepped his boundaries. He's going to be revived in a second. Dairy's on the run, as well as Joxxx, but it looks like they're going to back off here. Stellark do hold.
Wow, what a play! Nice defense there that Winter Truncheon used to mitigate the damage from Enya, and in the meantime, Sync steals that feathered airstrike and uses it to shut him down. Very, very nice defense put up by Stellark there, and this gives them another chance. I mean, potentially, right? If they start to farm and just get the farm and wait out this next Lord, it's going to be another dance. We're going to see another dance coming up in about 95 seconds, unless they take another fight.
Oh, Fossa flickers forward, gets Joe, throws him back in, and this could be it. I mean, he's getting very low, but Sync is getting low as well, and Joe is the first one to fall. Fossa's looking to go for this one. Rum is isolated, stuck between all five of them, and it looks like, you know, Stellark at this point have that window of opportunity.
They're still playing to their conditions, right? Get Fossa to pick off someone. They cannot play the huge team fights like SMG can, and just perfectly recognizing that and being able to pull that off. So still, Fossa making this Jawhead relevant in the later part of the game and being able to isolate someone. Even the Guardian barriers from Dairy was not able to stop that.
Yeah, I mean, as SMG, you got to be super careful about your positioning. You cannot get caught out like that. I think if Joe survives that one, has the damage, then SMG maybe turn that fight, right? It was one of those situations where he got caught out. It was an awkward situation, and they were just kind of scrambling, trying to find what they could. But again, SMG still up. They still have a slight, I mean, the net worth lead is saying a little bit otherwise, but in terms of the overall play, has Stellark done enough to really make a comeback in this game?
Well, they can't fight 5v5, right? That's why Fossa has always been in the front line trying to pick somebody off, because if they do, they will just be on the defense trying to maybe stop Joe from proccing off his feathered airstrike. So in the meantime, you can see Stellark having the higher ground. They want to be able to make this an unfair fight, and they've already forced Dairy back.
Okay, I was going to jokingly say that, you know, they needed to, Stellark needed to make that base defense like 3 or 4 times to actually have a chance. But seeing as that they got that pick off right there, they're really right back into this one. I mean, the Lord is going to be started here. SMG realized that the Lord is going to be there. And, you know, again, this is, again, one of those situations where SMG, who blinks first?
I think it's exactly down to that. Who blinks first, who makes the first move, and again, Stellark just poking them down, forcing the feathered airstrike out. This is huge for Stellark.
That's going to be massive. No cooldown can be allowed there, and they do find Enya. That's going to be it. That's going to be a great start. Joxxx is getting low. The stolen feathered airstrike is actually doing more damage to Joe right now. He's going to regret using that one. He's been killed as well, and it looks like Stellark have this game, as it looks like they're going to take Joxxx as well. And Stellark, have they done it? It
looks like they have. I mean, Rum's the only person left now, so it's 40-30 30 to 40 seconds on these timers. It looks like they actually want to push through rather than going for the Lord.
This is, he has to go back. Rum has to defend. I mean, this is going to be the inhibitor turret, but can they get anything else? Rum continuing to just try to get as much AoE damage, maybe bait them out. He tries to flicker to safety. He gets out, but he's fine for now. Sync is going to run after him. He does kill him, and it looks like they've gotten the base, and Stellark have done it. They had the comeback. I didn't think they could do it, but Stellark proved to be strong. Take game one.
The 20% of the audience got it right in the first round here. Game number 1, Stellark. My goodness, they were so perfect in the execution in the later part. You know,